What's going on, guys? Welcome to another tank build video. Today we're going to cover a Kyne's Aegis Dragonknight main tank build. This video is part of a series where I'm covering tank builds for various dungeons and trial content on the game, and there's also going to be some future or near future how-to guides and things like that as well. So if any of this content is of use to you, please do leave a like on the video, please subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment as well if you have any questions for me, or if you want to propose an idea for a new video as well. So the video that we're going to go through today will cover my build that I used in my recent Dawnbringer prog. So I have used this build for Dawnbringer, it works very well. You can absolutely run the build for just regular VKA hard mode, or if you're just doing regular VKA as well, the build will work absolutely fine. There's a couple of things that you maybe don't need to run the same as me if you're not doing the Trifecta, but I will cover that in the video. There's just a couple of skill differences and things like that, but for the most part you can run this build whether you're doing VKA, VKA hard mode, or whether you're trying to do the Trifecta Dawnbringer as well. The Dragonknight is definitely, I would say, the most common choice when it comes to a Kyne's Aegis main tank, probably as a main tank overall actually in most trial content. The benefits of the DK mostly revolve around the buffs that it has access to. So you've got igneous weapons, which is going to give your entire team major brutality and major sorcery. You've also got engulfing flames, which is going to make everything that you apply it to take more flame damage. You have Stone Fist, which is a very unique buff specific to the Dragonknight, which is applying stagger. Again, just increasing the damage taken by applying that to your enemy. And in this setup, we've got really good resistances, we're really tanky, lots of mitigation, and our sustain is really good as well. We're also applying a lot of buffs to help our team throughout this trial. So first of all, on my DK, I am a Nord. I'm a Nord, quite like it on the DK because you get the ulti generation and you also get the extra resistances. Other options are Imperial, would probably be my second choice for the all-round sustain. You would then just need to kind of balance the resistances that you would have got from the Nord into something else, like reinforced pieces. The ulti regeneration is really good on a DK in general, and it's very helpful, so Nord would always be my first choice on a DK tank. Besides from Imperial in second place, you've also got like Argonian, you can go Redguard, you can go Breton, depending on what your preference is. Going on to the food next, we are using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. I always like to run Bewitched Sugar Skulls to have the max resources, so I get the max health, mag and stam, and I also get the health recovery as well. The alternative option is to go for a recovery food like Jewels of Misrule or Smoked Bear Hunch. They both basically do the same thing, they give you max health and then stam and mag recovery. Smoked Bear Hunch also gives you mag recovery, but it's quite a lot more money, so take your pick. You can try one of the recovery foods and try Bewitched, but the max resources from Bewitched is my personal preference. My attributes, I am running 42 into health. Basically, after I've got all my armour on, my food on, my CP done and everything like that, I then put my attributes into health to achieve the health that I want. In this case I've aimed for 42k. There's quite a lot of hard hitting things in Kyne's Aegis, so the extra sort of couple of k health above 40 is quite nice to have. So that's what I've gone for, and then I've put as much into the other two as possible to kind of have them fairly close together. I don't really want my stam to be much higher than my mag, so they're around the same sort of level as you can see. So I've just put 7 into stam and 15 into mag. This will change depending on your race, and if you have different glyphs to me as well. For my pots, I am going to be running tri-stat pots. You can use either the crown tri-stat pots or you can run the player crafted ones. If you do buy them from a guild trader, make sure they're the correct ones, which is these ones here. So they give you health, mag and stam immediately, and then also give you the recovery bonuses as well. My Mundus stone, same as always on my tanks, is the Atronach for the extra mag recovery. I don't really vary from this very often, so this is pretty much always what I run on my tanks, apart from some particular circumstances. So, going on to gear next. The sets that I'm running, this could vary depending on the team setup that you have, but I'm running Pearlescent Ward, which is going to give all of your team members weapon and spell damage up to 180 based on the number of group members that are alive, and then for the number of players that are dead, you get damage reduction. So it's a pretty common one to have in a trial setup, and it does usually go on the main tank. The second set that I'm running is Crimson Oath. I'm using this for penetration purposes. So while you're in combat, any ability or potion that gives a major or minor buff to yourself or an ally is going to reduce the armor of nearby enemies by 3,500. So we're not running Alkosh in my group. We are instead running Crimson Oath on me. So basically anytime I use a potion or Igneous Shield, Hardened Armor, Vigor, or Igneous Weapons, I'm proccing the Crimson Oath buff and Green Dragon Blood as well, which you're basically using all the time, so the uptime on Crimson Oath is really good. And then the monster set I'm running is Nazare, which every time I use an ultimate, I'm extending the major debuffs and minor debuffs. So going on to my traits and enchantments. On my Pearlescent Mace, I'm running Charged Poison Enchant. I'm running this to proc the Combustion passive on a DK, which I'll quickly go to. So whenever you apply the Poison status effect, you are gaining 1k of stamina, and every time you apply the Burning status effect, you'll also get 1k mag. So you can proc the mag aspect of this with Unrelenting Grip, and the poison aspect is from your glyph on your front bar, and we're going with charge to help apply this. My shield is sturdy with tri-stat glyph on. My staff, which I know is not perfected, I haven't had a great deal of time farming VDSR. In hindsight, I should probably go with Crimson Oath on the weapons, since both Pearl and Crimson are heavy armor pieces. You can run either set on the weapons, the jewelry, the body. It doesn't matter as long as you have 5 of each. But anyway, run perfected if you have it. And I'm going with Crusher infused as always to help reduce the resistances of whatever I'm applying it to. Then on the body, I am running 1 medium, 1 light, and 5 heavy. I'm running Sturdy and Divine's a combination, and I've got tri-stat glyphs on everything. So I have 5 Sturdy and 3 Divines in total. You can go 4 and 4, that's absolutely fine. I'm perma-blocking quite a lot in VKA from raid leading, so I'm personally just going a little bit more sturdy, a little bit on the safe side for that. So you can run a combination of the 2 traits, but go tri-stat glyphs on all of the body pieces if you can. Otherwise, just run them on the big pieces, which are the shield, the helmet, the chest, and the legs. And then you can put health glyphs on the small ones as an alternative if you don't have the Hokkaido. My jewelry, I'm running Harmony on all. I've got access to plenty of synergies in VKA as a main tank, so I'm running Harmony. It's really good. Every time you pop a synergy, you get a nice burst of your resources back. And then I'm running reduced cost of mag times 2 and reduced stamina cost on the 3rd. You can go recovery glyphs as well, like you can run 3 mag recovery, that would also work fine. But because I'm running Stone Fist, I like having the reduced stamina cost, and on a DK, the cost of your mag skills are very expensive, and you can really rinse your mag to 0 very quickly, so I like having the 2 reduced magicka cost on 2 of my jewelry pieces. And with the 5-1-1, when I'm fully buffed, which I'll put Hardened Armor and Resolving Vigor, Go to my character sheet, and my resistances, as you can see, I am over cap on spell and physical resistance. The cap is about 33,100, and on my back bar, if I just quickly reapply, I am at basically the cap, just either side of it on the spell and physical on my back bar. I am going to take quite a lot of heavy attacks on my back bar at times when applying buffs, so I do like to be as close to the cap as possible. I'm not running any reinforced, and the reason for that is Crimson Oath actually has 2 lines of armor on the 2 and 4 item pieces, and that's why my resistances are getting quite high. Obviously also due to the fact that I'm a Nord, and CP, which I'll show after, I'm running Fortified as well. I could probably drop Fortified because of my resistances being over the cap, but I'd rather be slightly over than slightly under on VKA, especially when doing the hard mode where there's a lot of very hard hitting things. So moving on to the skills, I'm running Igneous Shield, which I always run on a DK tank. Every time you use it, you're getting a damage shield for yourself that absorbs just over 10k damage, and one for everyone else in your team for just over 4k. You also get Major Mending as well, which increases your healing done. I pretty much spam this, I use it very often. Yeah, it's a really nice skill to use. Revealing Flare, I'm slotting this purely for the major protection. You'll never need to use it, you don't need to actually use the skill, but just by having it slotted on your bar, you get major protection, so damage reduction is 10%. On the hard mode, this is very nice to have because you take a lot of damage from a lot of things in Kyne's Aegis hard mode. If you're not doing the hard mode, you can probably swap this out for Engulfing Flames. If you don't have a DK in your team, then you're going to probably want to run this anyway. But if you have another DK, which you most of the time probably will, running Zen, then you don't need to run Engulfing Flames. I would run it anyway if you're not doing the hard mode. But if you are doing the hard mode and you do have another DK in your group, then pop Revealing Flare just there. Unrelenting Grip, we're using this only on ad pulls. This is the skill that we're going to change throughout the trial. So on ad pulls, we're going to use this to chain in the little ads that are not coming towards us. On the first 2 bosses, we're going to use Stone Giant. This is a very unique skill from the DK. It's one of the main benefits of running the DK as a main tank. Basically, when you use this, you're just applying a buff called Stagger to the target that you put it on. And for each stack, it's going to take more damage from your DDs. So you want to try and keep up the stacks of this all the time. You have to basically use the skill every kind of 3 or 4 casts in order to keep it up. And yeah, we're going to run that on the first 2 bosses. On the last one, if I'm running hard mode, I don't personally use it. You're taking enough damage as it is, there's a lot going on without using this. When you first apply the Stone Giant skill, your block drops, so if you use it at the wrong time you're going to die. And honestly, for the last boss it's not worth it. I instead run Heroic Slash, so that I'm putting minor maim onto my enemies, which is going to reduce the damage that they do to me. So first 2 bosses I'm running Stone Giant, last boss I'm running Heroic Slash, and on all ad pulls I'm running Unrelenting Grip in that spot right there. Then we've got Green Dragonblood. This is my main burst heal. Yeah, it's pretty standard to use on the DK tank at the moment. Coagulating Blood used to be more comparable, but yep, Green Dragonblood's had a buff again, so that's what we're running. And then we've got Pierce Armor as our main front bar taunt. This is going to give major and minor breach to anything you use it to, and it's also going to be our taunt. And then we're running Barrier as our ultimate on the front bar, and as always we're running this just so that we get the passive from support, Magicka Aid, so we get 20% extra mag recovery for having that slotted. If you're new to tanking, or you're struggling in any way, then feel free to swap this for Magma Shell. Magma Shell is just basically going to make you invincible for a period of time, so feel free to run that as well if you don't want to take any risks, or like I say, if you're new to tanking. Then on the back part we have Blockade of Frost. This is our way of applying our Crusher enchant. Pretty standard, always have this on as a tank pretty much. Then we're going Igneous Weapons. This is another kind of unique skill to a DK, one that's a big benefit of having a DK main tank. So we're going to keep this up all the time, and it's going to give major brutality and major sorcery to our entire team. It means the DDs haven't got to run spell power pots or weapon power pots, depending on whether they're stacking into weapon or spell damage. So yeah, this is a nice buff skill. Definitely want to have this in the group. Then we've got Hardened Armor. This is going to be our main source of major resolve, which gives us 6k of our physical and spell resistance. We always want to have a major resolve skill on a tank, and we also get a damage shield as well. I often will run balance instead of Hardened Armor on a DK tank, but in VKA there's a lot of incoming damage. You cast balance at the wrong time and yeah, you lose 5k health, so it could be the thing that finishes you off. For that reason, I am running Hardened Armor. You could probably run balance if you're not doing the hard mode. That will just help your mag sustain a little bit. Rather than spending mag to get your major resolve, you will get mag back every time you cast balance, but it will take your life away, so just be careful of that. Then we're going Resolve in Vigor. This is our source of minor resolve. This has given us our final 3k resistances. It's also a nice heal over time for us as well, so we get 12k health over 5 seconds. And then our back bar taunt is Frost Clench, which is going to give major maim to whatever we apply it to. It applies the chilled status effect, and it's our back bar taunt. And then finally, our ultimate is going to be Aggressive Horn. This is again pretty standard on a tank. You'll run this most of the time. I'm part of an ultimate rotation through my trial, so I will be running this fairly often, and that's going to give major force to all of my team, and it also increases the max resources of everyone as well. So finally, going on to the CP, this is the last part of the build. I'm running the standard tank blue CP, so I'm running Ironclad to reduce my direct damage. I'm running Enduring Resolve to reduce the damage over time that I take, Duelist Rebuff to reduce my single target damage that I take, and Unassailable, reducing my damage taken from AoEs. Again, pretty standard. I don't vary from this very much on tanks, so this is what I pretty much always run. And then my red CP, I am running Boundless Vitality for the health. Yeah, I do usually run this. You maybe don't need to, depending on how high you want to aim for your health, but normally I'll just take attributes out of health rather than change from Boundless, so I do normally run this. Fortified, again, with my resistances being slightly over cap, I could potentially drop this, but I'd rather be slightly over than slightly under with this trial, especially on hard mode. I'm running Bastion and I'm running Shield Master, so that's going to increase the effectiveness of my damage shield, so my Igneous Shield being the main one, and this is also going to reduce the cost of it. Like I said, I spam Igneous Shield quite a lot, so this is going to help with my sustain on that, and this is going to help with how much of a damage shield it's giving me. So yeah, that's my CP, and that's the build. So that is my build for my Kyne's Aegis main tank. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It does go a long way to helping me. I will also leave a link to my Dawnbringer point of view video in the description, so check that out. And leave a comment again, as always, if you have any questions or want to propose anything for the next video. I'll see you in the next one.